Hi guys, I'm Fred. I'm here to discuss and talk about the Detective Pikachu movie. You know, a lot of video game movies, when they're announced today, it's easy to write them off like they're just like never gonna happen. You know, when they announced a live action Detective Pikachu movie, it was like, well, that's not gonna fucking happen, right? Like, and that just only escalated over time. They said something like, you know, Ryan Reynolds is gonna be playing Pikachu. Would very bizarre. Actually, when I told my wife that Ryan Reynolds would be playing Pikachu, she told me she was too tired to talk about that. So one of the first things I think they did was correctly, and this is something the Sonic the Hedgehog movie didn't do, is like it set itself in the world of Pokemon. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie, what it looks like is they put like Sonic in like fucking like California or like Portland or something, and it's like jarring. Like he doesn't belong there. His stories historically like haven't like taken place there. They've done a lot of weird shit. Maybe they have sometimes. I don't know. It's not a good movie, but it's not a bad movie. It's just a strange movie. It's a lot like the Avatar movie, in that its strength is in its setting. It's this place that you kind of want to be, you kind of want to explore, you want to just understand this world. And then the story is like whatever. It's totally bullshit. The story actually it often like kind of forgets itself at the end when the main character like finally finds his dad. One of the characters reminds him that he needs to find his dad, who has apparently died yesterday. Like he just wasn't even thinking about his dead dad. If it was a mystery movie without Pokemon, I don't think anyone would go see it. Then it would be terrible. It would be like a hard F. Instead, what you have is this like elaborate long form Easter egg hunt where you're trying to find like all the like little Pokemon like hiding in the background of like every scene. And sometimes that's really fun, and then sometimes it like undercuts the emotion in the scene. Like someone will be crying or mourning someone, and you'll just be like in the background like, oh, look at that! There's a Rattata back there. There's an Eevee. Like, look at that. That's like the point. It's a fucking Easter egg hunt. And about halfway through the movie, you found all the Easter eggs. Actually, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen probably most of the character models in the movie. One thing about it is they did a really good job rendering sort of like the look of the Pokemon, the detail of the Pokemon for the most part. There's a few exceptions. Mewtwo doesn't look like he belongs in that environment. He always looks like a cartoon. But they definitely gloss over the more fun part of the Pokemon, in my opinion, which is like sort of their behaviors. Pikachu doesn't get to do like a lot of electric shit. Psyduck doesn't get to do like a lot of like psychic shit. I guess Cubone gets to mourn over its mom. That's its deal. That's the one out of all the Pokemon. That's like the one guy that gets to do. So the Mewtwo gets to do a lot of cool shit. Even the costume designers did an interesting job of translating like the outfits from the video games or like the cards of like Pokemon trainers into real life. Those look convincing, and they've been kind of like true to that. I think that was really cool. Probably the most remarkable thing, I saw this movie at like 4 o'clock p.m. on opening day, Thursday, and instead of being like a packed theater like a Marvel movie on opening day, it was actually just like me and my wife and like a lot of like old ladies, and that's not like the demographic you're like expecting of the live action Pokemon movie. You gotta figure they were probably there like on like a weekly like movie going expedition or something. They didn't grow up with Pokemon. Maybe they are. Who knows? Maybe like in their ripe old age they like all together like got into like the Game Boy games or like the card game or the anime. But they have no frame of reference for Pokemon. And that is the weirdest thing about the movie, is it doesn't make any attempt to explain itself or its like mythology. It doesn't explain what a Pokeball is. It doesn't explain how Pokeballs work. It doesn't explain about trainers going out and at like a young age to like catch Pokemon. That's like really bizarre. There's like a lot of bizarre concepts to take for granted if you grew up with Pokemon like I did, versus like if you have like no frame of reference for it. There's even an early gag where about Cubone, like this really kind of fucked up Pokemon that wears the skull of its dead mother, and it's like crying, and it's a really morbid joke where like a friend is trying to convince the main character Tim that he should catch the Cubone because the Cubone is like him, who lost his mother. In order for you to understand the situation, you have to know that about the Pokemon. Like there's a bunch of jokes like there's a guy sleeping next to a Jigglypuff. Unless you know about Pokemon, the gag is lost on you. Like you don't know that the Jigglypuff like sang its owner to sleep, at the coffee shop. If you're going into this movie and you have no concept of Pokemon, you're gonna be like totally confused, like what the hell is going on. Overall, it's a fun experience. It's a unique experience. So if you like Pokemon, you should go and see it, and you'll probably have a good time. If you don't know about Pokemon, it's totally fucked up and weird, and you'll have no idea what's going on. And maybe like take some acid and see if you come out okay.